Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay, Financial Fanatics Edition. I am Marisha LaShay, and there is
Good
Tia.
morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Wow, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. My God, my God. God is real. Let me say that. Meanwhile, you guys, today we are here before you and we are excited. We're still ecstatic. We just got the Monday blues. Excuse us as we drag ourselves on up in here and still deliver on what we said we was gonna do, right? So, y'all, with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off our day with checking in with ourselves mentally on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of our lives, 10 being the best day of our lives. And can I be below a 1? Absolutely. Can I be above a 10? Sure thing. Nobody's here to kind of dictate to you how your day should start or what you should feel. So, with that being said, we are going to go first to share what our numbers are. If you're logging in on YouTube or if you're logging in from Facebook, please feel free to drop those numbers in the comment section below, and we will proceed like that.
Okay, so this morning, I'm at about a 7.
Oh,
A
wow.
7. I know usually I'm on 10, but I'm about a 7 this
That's real.
morning. Just trying to get myself together this morning. A couple outside forces trying to impede on my day. But as we progress through the day, I'm sure we'll be back up mentally to a 10. But at this very moment in time, we're at a 7.
That's totally fine. Checking in.
Mhm.
I'm a strong 8.
Okay.
Today's going to be a long day of rolling out some things, but I'm committed to the process and getting it done. I am a strong 8 because I'm just like, man, it's man, it's get the getting.
Yeah.
Especially when you have things done and when you look back over the things that you have done, you're like, wow, I've really done these things. So, with that being said, yeah, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and move us forward. Today is day 9 of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. It'll be in effect for the next 3 weeks, 21 days and 3 weeks. Honey. We are getting there. These days are going by so much faster. But also, this content that we have been dropping before you guys have been allowing you all to kind of look at money differently and having these tough conversations. So, with
Absolutely.
that being said, um, our question for today is, what is retirement planning? What is retirement planning? And I know you're probably thinking, I'm too young to retire, but honey, it ain't never too early to start planning for your retirement.
Okay. So basically, retirement planning is exactly what it sounds like, right? You're trying to plan for those years when you are no longer working. So you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I do that? Right? Like, how do I really start to implement this plan for myself?
Mhm.
And how do you pick a date? Do you do the standard date, right? That is set by society and by the government on when you want to retire, or do you try to be ambitious in this journey and try to retire sooner than that? So a couple of things that you can do, and we'll just keep it short today, is number one, if you are working in the corporate space or any space that is offering a employee matched 401k, you need to be matching it at the same amount of percentage that they are. So here's what I mean. If they're offering you a 6% match, then your contribution needs to also be a 6% match with them. So that's dollar for dollar. And now you're increasing or doubling what you are putting in that 401k plan.
Mhm.
That's the first one. The second one is you want to be thinking of outside tactics, right? So, like those mutual funds that I've been speaking on for the last couple of episodes, you want to be putting your money somewhere where it is growing for you. And you want to be savvy, speaking with someone who could help you understand the numbers, looking at an investment calculator, figuring out how many years it is going to take for your money to double in this type of account. And then the third one would be to start looking at your debt numbers, right? You don't want to retire with student loans still hanging over you. You don't want to retire with lingering things. And that may also include if you purchase a home, you may want to have that paid off before your retirement date comes. So that way you're just enjoying your retirement. So as it pertains to, planning for that moment in the financial space, you're really trying to get your numbers together starting now.
I mean, it don't get no simpler than that of you actually understanding your options as it relates to the 401k or whatever the case. If your company is matching it, you need to go ahead and meet them halfway so y'all could be matching together in
Correct.
order to be able to, conduct. What are the word am I looking at? You're able to conduct, effective retirement planning.
Right. That is
Okay.
that is true.
Um, what are some examples for retirement plans? If I don't have a 401k and I work for myself, what is something that I could use as a retirement tool?
So you can use your the traditional Roth IRA, and you could be contributing in those accounts for trying to max those accounts out. I think we spoke about that in one of the other episodes. But you can use that vehicle to help you grow your money while reducing your taxable income.
Okay. Um, what is a good time to actually start retirement planning? Like if I'm just new to the job market, what will be the ideal situation for me? Like I'm fresh out of college. What would be the ideal setup for me in regards to setting myself up for retirement?
Well, to the first question, you're going to want to start soon, right? You don't want to wait around and 10, 15 years later, and then you start thinking about it, right? You want to start immediately learning about different ways to make yourself successful in your retirement planning. And then also, too, like I said, figuring out, what type of debts that you have. I mean, if you're just starting out, you might not have very many debts outside of your student loans. But for the people who, have lived a little bit, you're going to want to start looking at those things because those take away from the amount of money that you actually have to save.
That's man, that's that's legit. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people feel that if they are younger, that they don't have to start thinking about retirement as it relates to their age and what they're actually doing and if they're just starting in the job market. I always think that hey, it ain't never too early to start soon about wondering what is your life going to look like in retirement. And with retirement planning, we're not only talking about should we not only limit ourselves about what we're going to be doing, what it's going to look like financially, but what is it going to look like as far as the activities that kind of consume our life when we do plan
Correct.
to retire? Because I think a lot of older people don't never, oh, I don't know. I just know that I'm getting
Mm,
out of here. I just know that I'm not going to be going to a job every day anymore. When you are retiring, you
yeah,
know, um, yeah,
you do
and
have
never
to
think
account for that.
about, I'll go ahead and tell what you were going to say.
No, I was going to say you really do have to account for that because I recently just spoke with an ex-retiree. So basically, what that means is he went back into the job market, and one of the questions that I asked was, "Did you go back into the job market because you truly just wanted to be working, or did you go back into the job market because of money?" And we had a very candid conversation about it, and it wasn't that he did not plan um enough because he did plan. He told me some of the things that he did, but he did not plan for what life would truly look like once he was retired. So, like you said, like you have to be understanding what you want your day to day to look like and how much that's going to cost you.
Yeah, because that's just that is really something. As I've been watching, like my grandparents and my people, honey, ain't nobody going back to work, honey. They do the work of the Lord. Like my grandmother thinks she Uber, taking her church friends, but that woman, seriously, I noticed it's generational. Like we don't sit down on my father's side. We don't sit down on my mother's side. Like my granddaddy working to honey half of his time, and I'm just like, granddaddy, I had to start talking to him, honey, it's time.
Yeah.
When that job start getting you in your dreams, it's up, baby, it's time.
Hmm.
Like when you ask God to do something in your life, honey, he was gonna fulfill his promise to God, like, yes, I'm gonna work this job. But I'm like, when did you enjoy yourself? When did you know, go any place and to be around because he worked so much and was away from the family,
Yeah.
to make sure that we was, financially together. But when I think about retirement, I don't think that we don't we like a lot of people don't consider what their daily activity is going to look like, and there's a possibility that when you're retiring that you might get sick. You never know those things or those barriers that can come to you during that retirement time.
Yeah. And I mean, we never know, what's ahead of us, right? We never know those things. But if we plan well enough, we can always attack those things when they do come up. So I know that was one of the things that we talked about in a previous episode, just making sure that you're being diligent in your planning just in the event that anything should happen. So that's not a, while you're in your 30s, you're planning for this stuff. It's like you have to start thinking about, your future self and what that may look like. Talk to, and here's the thing, talk to some older people, talk to some people who are close to retirement age. Ask them what it's starting to look like for them while you're not them, and you're not in the same space that they're in. But you can listen to some of the things that they have done or not have or did not do, and you can start to implement those same things to make sure that you're not in the same boat. Right? You can look at, okay, my grandmother said that, she's been working since she was 15. She didn't start saving until she was 45. She was out of her, I'm this scenario, but she was out of, she stopped working when she was 65. So now she didn't really have a very long time to save money for her retirement, right? She only had a few years in order to do that. But then you tack on having children, having grandchildren, having, a spouse, whatever the situations look like for, these people. You could be talking to a grandfather, you could be talking to an aunt, and you could just ask them, like questions like, what did you do? What did you not do? And then you can start to implement those things. So if you hear someone say they waited later in life to start saving, well, then you start saving right now. You start to do it now. And one of the things that we talked about, is just making sure that even if you don't have the type of money that you want to have, you at least start with something. You at least start with something, even if it's $5 or $10, you at least start, because now we're shifting the mindset. It's not so much about the money, it's about the mindset that you have to have around planning for your future and putting money to the side for that.
That's good, Tia. That's definitely good with the different scenarios because this again is not a one size fit all as it relates
Correct.
to your retirement planning. My retirement, if I have a retirement age goal, like what if I don't do the traditional thing of retiring in my 60s or in my 70s and I decide, okay, look, I'm gonna get up out of here and this is how much money I need to be able to make it through my life.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a way, that we can actually, talk about that to set ourselves up? Because, like I said, and we always say, Tia, I don't think that we're going to be working until we're 67 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't see that for us.
Mm-mm. One of the things that I would say is when we're usually sitting down with clients, talking to them about investments, we use an investment calculator. And on the investment calculator, you can tell the calculator how much you want to start your account with, how much you want to put in monthly, when do you project to put these payments in? Are you going to do it in the beginning of the month? Are you going to do it at the end of the month? And then you want to tell the calculator, okay, well, I want my money to compound monthly. I want it to compound yearly. Figure out like what that's going to look like. And then you tell it, okay, well, I want my money to grow at this rate. So if you put in, I want it to grow at a 12% interest rate, right? Okay, fine. Now the calculator knows all of these things. Now you're going to calculate from the age that you are now to
Mm-hmm.
how old you want to be when you retire. So once
Mm-hmm.
you get that number of years, you're going to tell the calculator, this is how many years I want this particular setup to happen. And at the end of doing all the calculations, the calculator will tell you exactly how much money you would have using the numbers that you input into the calculator. Now, here's the good thing about that. If you do the calculator with what you have right now, then you'll know if I stay at this position, this is all that I'll have in the next 20 or 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you tell the calculator, okay, I'm going to start with this much money, but then you say, okay, well, I want to start putting in $200 a month. We talked about some debt, we talked about some options on when you start budgeting and you start paying off those debts. Now you have more money to put into this thing, right? So you tell the calculator, hey, I'm going to start putting in $200 monthly. Now the calculator is going to tell you, okay, if you continue to put in $200 monthly at 12% interest, compounding however you told it to compound over the number of years that you've given it, well, at the end of that, this is what you're going to have. So now you know a number. Now you know a number. Now you know a goal. We've talked about a lot of different investment vehicles. We talked about a lot of different savings vehicles. Now you know how to actually choose and decide what type of vehicle you want to be using for your retirement. Listen, we're only 9 days in, and I'm giving you a lot of tools to set this thing up. A lot of tools to set it up. So now you know the type of accounts. Let's just say you're going to use a high yield savings account. That high yield savings account is probably giving you about 4.3%, or no, that's not really high. So let's say they're giving you between 4.3 and 5%, right? They're giving you that. Okay, so you tell the calculator, I'm putting in $25, it's giving me 5% interest. I'm going to do this over 10 years. I want it to compound however that account is compounding. You'll have your number. Now you say, okay, well, I want to take it a step up. I want to do the mutual fund investing. Well, I'm going to invest in this one mutual fund, and you can do multiple, but this one mutual fund is giving 12%. Now you know what your number is there. Well, I'm going to put it in my traditional savings account. That's only giving about 0.03%. Now you know what that's looking like. So now you really, 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 outside of what I've told you, can take those numbers and really figure out, am I doing my retirement goals a disservice by not choosing the correct savings account?
Yeah.
So we can do it. You just have to start early. You have to there's a lot of things that we're going to experience. Even though we're young, there's a lot of things that we're going to experience, such as retirement, such as life things happening. Some people might lose a job, some people might get a new job, some people might have to take a pay cut. There are a lot of different life scenarios that are going to be happening. But if you make it a priority to always be saving for yourself, all those little life nuances won't hit you as hard.
That's good. That's
Mhm.
definitely good because you just make it sound so simple, but like we've already said, I'm serious. But these are things that we have to begin to think about as it relates to our life after work, right? Like we
Mhm.
know that we went into the job market or whatever it is that we do. We know that some of us are going to be coming out, and some of us are going to commit to the actual just having a job until the very, very end.
Yeah.
But that's something that that we have to consider, especially because what about teachers? Like we don't have a 401k. It will be something different. You know what I'm saying? Based
Mhm,
on what
mhm, mhm.
what we do. Like we have like a 403. You know what I'm saying? So
Or
like just
3D.
yeah, just
Mhm.
kind of knowing what those understanding the differences between your different retirement plans and the different things that you have going on is going to be vital, I believe, to being successful as it relates to you planning for your retirement.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
because a lot of us don't know what we have because we won't ask or we won't go and seek out the actual help in order for us to be successful in where we need.
Yeah, and you should absolutely be looking at those benefit packages longer than just selecting yes because the enrollment period has come up. If you have any questions, that I'm just saying, like if you're working for a company and you have questions, you need to be talking to your HR rep. You also need to be talking to the benefits team, figuring out, okay, does this make sense for me? Can you break this thing down? How is this thing going to help me? What is the projection? What's been the success rate of people having these accounts? I mean, if the job is offering it, it's not like you can change it, but it is an option for you to really sit down and start asking questions to understand what is happening day in and day out with your account. Now, also, what I want you guys to know is when you're asking these when you're asking about the numbers, you also want to be asking, well, what is my 403b account or my 401k account? What are we invested in? And then I want you to take some time to go and look at the different stocks. And there's also mutual funds that your company is investing in, and look at those mutual funds and figure out what is the growth rate of those accounts since their inception. How have they been doing on the market? Are they trending? Are they trending in an upward manner? Does our 401k or does our 403b account have managers that are actively managing this? Are they having conversations often? What is the fund manager doing for some of these mutual funds that we have? How often are they interchanging out stocks? And I mean, these questions get really in depth that you can start asking if you just want to know more about what you're investing in. But as an investor, because that's what you're doing with your 403b and your 401k, you are well entitled to be understanding what is happening with your money. So I know
Yeah,
that was a lot, but those are things that even if you don't ask anyone, even if you just get the paperwork and you're looking at the paperwork, if you can understand the numbers, these are things that you should be looking for. These are things that you should, help you understand how your money's going to grow.
we on the money. Like we
Mhm.
serious about this retirement. But if
Yeah.
we're serious about you implementing the tools that we have already given you in order to be successful and also being able to seek out professional help, as we always state, you need
Yes.
to understand what your options are and you need to be able to understand what you currently already have in place for yourself. That's
Correct.
just a must. So you guys, with that being said, we are coming to a close today on this beautiful Monday. I hope that you guys actually took the opportunity to just kind of think about futuristically where you're going to be in the next 30 years with your money
Yeah.
and you actually retiring, because some of us may not be able to make it all the way to 67, 72. But what are you going to start doing now in order to set yourself up for success in the long run? Is
Correct.
what we're saying.
Mhm.
We want to know what your long run plan is in regards to you being successful, in regards to you thinking about what needs to happen with you, with your family. Because when you retire, you don't make the same money that you made before.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? If you're getting Social Security and those things, what else are you going to be able to bring to the table? And are you going to be able to sustain being in retirement? Because a lot of the time, people are not able to sustain themselves in the midst of retirement and they have to come back out and work. And I thank God that my people didn't have to do that.
Yeah, me too. My grandma does not have to
You know, she
go
don't
back to
he or
work.
she don't have to worry about that
Mhm.
because I didn't make a financial sound decision. Or, I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's cool. It's
Yeah.
not cool because it's something that you need to start thinking about. So, you guys, with that being said, I hope that this conversation kind of resonated with you guys, something from it in regards to starting early, in regards to knowing what your financial vehicles are, whether it is a 401k, 403b, whether it is the stock market, whatever it is that financial vehicle will be for you and your family and for protecting your retirement, setting your retirement up. Please feel free to just kind of take a moment to kind of get that together. It don't have to be today, but it needs to be before it's too late.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. So those are some good ending points. I guess we just gonna drop the bomb and close it out right there. That was good.
That's pretty much it. It don't get any. It's nothing that you could go on and on and on about.
Yeah.
When we've pretty much been kind of getting to the lead up of, hey, I know there's a start, there's a change, there's an end,
Yep.
right? I started working in this game at this particular part of my life. My health
Hmm.
was different. This. Then where's the change? I might have changed jobs. I might have changed careers. But what is the end? Retirement is the end for you, or you dying.
Yeah.
It's
That's
only
it.
two
Only
options.
two options.
What else you think you're gonna do?
Only two options.
So yes, girl, that was definitely good. As always, thank you for sharing, you guys. And like we said, we'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place.
Same.
We got some good stuff coming tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, we had good stuff all week thus far, these last 9 days. So it's only gonna get better. We're only gonna continue to keep coming with, just opportunities. It's almost like your financial altar call of, are you coming? Are you tired of struggling? Are you
Yeah.
tired of living the broke life? Are you
Yeah.
tired of not having enough money? There are question after question after question after question. So you have to be the one to find the answers to those questions, and you have to say yes.
Yes, that is correct.
So yes, y'all, we out of here. We're out of here.
Happy Monday.